LX Monona Madison.
It's time to think outside the pocket on Saturday Scramble.
I think the Bucks signed their souls away or something.
I look at the Bucks as Augustus Gloop.
Probably really smart, actually, because I write such long.
Yes! Clip that, Riley. Jason said that I'm smart.
I go to the gym to fight people.
That's awesome.
On 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Good morning from TPC, Wisconsin. The perfect time to shout is at a golf course when people are approaching the green. I clearly know a lot of etiquette, being the big golfer myself. Pablo Iglesias, Corey Sparks on a beautiful Saturday morning. Once again, at TPC, Wisconsin, as the member guest outing is going on right now. We've got carts waving by. We're in a prime spot right now. Apparently the party is going to be coming to us as they hit the turn here on the Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN Madison. Corey Sparks filling in for us this week, man. Corey, just an exciting day ahead. It feels like the storm might be brewing a little later, but hey, right now we got beautiful weather. We're in the shade. The wind is blowing. It could not be a more picturesque type of day here on the Saturday Scramble. Welcome, Corey.
Thank you so much, Pablo. You guys are spoiling me. It's one of my first times on this show. I know we did one a while back in Verona, I want to say. We kind of did a 1 hour with you and Alex Gravatt and 1 hour with me and Wally Lukashinsky. But this is my first time since then, and I don't know if we could have a more beautiful backdrop here than my first time at TPC, Wisconsin. It's a beautiful course. Everyone's out here having fun. You alluded to it. Weather could get a little dicey later, but right now it's sunshine. It's awesome.
Right now it's good vibes and good times, and that's all we're worried about here at the Saturday Scramble. We've got a huge lineup. As always, Jason Wilde is going to be joining us at 10:30. The Brewers, 7 in a row. My, oh, my, what a way to end that game yesterday, too. Can this team lose? Is this the team of destiny? Pocket pancakes are going to be sold at American Family Field starting tomorrow. I love the vibe that the Brewers are giving off right here. Again, we got Jason Wilde, too, as the Packers kick off preseason. How long will we see the starters? Who are the guys to watch for? All of those things we'll get into. And, of course, we will talk about some Badger football, too. Tonight, they finish off their round in Platteville for the first 2 weeks and have an open practice tonight for fans. So if you're making your way out there, let us know. 844-770-3776, the Carbless Talk and text line. List is more. But before we get into all of that, I mean, again, Corey, we're here at TPC, Wisconsin. It's a beautiful place. You and I, we know that we're both big golfers.
Oh, yes.
And I think in general there was a huge question that stood out to me. I was listening to Casuals, the Katie Nolan podcast, and you know what? I have never heard. I love, first off, especially the Milwaukee Brewers. I feel like the Brewers are really putting Wisconsin on the national stage, in the national conversation. But I have never in my life, too, heard the way that this question has been asked. Hunter Vaughn over in the Everlight Solar Studio getting that ready to go. The way that Katie Nolan asked this question really made me think. Here's what she had to say.
No one's talking about Milwaukee because it's not sexy to talk about Milwaukee.
Not.
Let's bring Milwaukee back.
Now. Milwaukee can be sexy.
Can it? What do they have? Cheese
and beer. So that's
long pause.
Look, as a lifelong hetero, try as I might, I must find beer and cheese sexy because that's what dudes like, right?
And if dudes
and
like
I love dudes.
Confidence is very sexy, don't you think?
You love to hear it.
There's a lot to unpack there.
Is Milwaukee sexy? But the bigger question is Wisconsin sexy? And first and foremost, because, again, we are here at TPC, Wisconsin. Not too many people realize this, but, Corey, you and I both know, too. Wisconsin is actually known as a huge golf gem. Yes. Wisconsin is sexy. That's one of the things right there. So we want to know from you out there over on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel, on the Carbless Talk and text line 844-770-3776. List is more. What makes Wisconsin sexy? Corey, I got to ask you. We're both non-Wisconsinites.
Yeah.
What do you think? You've lived here for a little bit. What makes the state sexy to you?
Well, I think starting off with the gems of golf courses we have around here, right? Like I live in Dodge County. I'm with our friends over at ESPN Beaver Dam and our wonderful teammates there. And there's some good gems there. We have a couple great partners on in Old Hickory Golf Course and Beaver Dam Country Club. And, I think having the element of nature out here as well, if I want to stem off that, we get all 4 seasons. Like to go the weather route, there's a lot of states and areas out there in the country. They don't get the snow around Christmas. They don't get fall is about to be beautiful in the next month and a half here when it's still golf season too. So you kind of get that picturesque backdrop. And to kind of loop back to the Brewers where we started the show, you know what else is sexy, Pablo? 71-44, best record in baseball.
You love to
by
see
a landslide.
it.
5-game lead in the NL Central. They're awesome.
You love to see it. And looking at the state as a whole, obviously, so. The funny thing is, I'm actually just coming back from a conference that I go to I've gone for the last 9 years in a row, the Asian American Journalists Association, and a great group. And, when I tell people that I've lived in Madison, Wisconsin, they always give me this look. They're like, what the heck is out there? I'm like, man, you got to come out, especially at this time of the year, too, summertime.
Oh, yeah.
That's the time of the year when you really come out. So if I were to say Madison specifically, what makes Madison sexy? You got to talk about the lakes. You got to talk about I love the golf scene out here, too. And it's just, it's something that's so different. It's like, again, why we're out here, too, and just getting to enjoy all of this, the courses, the way that it's laid out, all those things. But I love summertime and, heck, even the winter. But looking across the state, too, you mentioned the Brewers in Milwaukee, too. You go to a game, you have a whole experience. You could go to the lake. You could have a beer post or pregame. There's just a good vibe about that. You go a little further up north. You go to Green Bay. You're a part of that game day experience. You're also at Door County. I
was just going to say.
I love that Door County is referred to as the wine country.
Yeah.
We were out there just a couple months ago, Door County Distillery, and, man, did it just feel super relaxing. It was a little bit of a dreary day, but at the same point, man, it was just so much fun to be out there over at Door County Distillery. Hunter Vaughn, actually, over the Everlight Solar Studio, filling in for Riley Yauk, was out there, too, with us. Man, just Door County vibes in general. Hunter, I want to bring you in general. What do you think makes Wisconsin sexy?
It's got to be supper clubs.
Yeah, that's true.
Ooh,
that's
only thing,
point.
like
good point.
Like Minnesota doesn't have those, Iowa doesn't, Illinois doesn't. It's such a Wisconsin thing. Supper clubs, I think, it should be leading in the clubhouse right now for what makes Wisconsin sexy.
So I will be wholeheartedly honest. I don't think I've ever actually had a supper club experience. Laney over here, one of our teammates, her jaw just dropped. Our fill-in producer,
you're
too.
Kidding.
Our emergency break in case of emergency producer.
That's preseason. You got to have an emergency quarterback.
Exactly.
Right?
I think Laney's stock is going up. I'm sure a lot of our markets are probably going to be knocking on the door to see if she's available to be a producer at a different market. So we got to be careful here. Great stuff, Laney, but we gotta make sure that we keep her here in Madison. But yeah, guys, I have never had a supper club experience, a true one. So, okay, paint this picture for me. If Corey, if you have had a supper club experience, Hunter, you as well, paint this picture for me. What am I missing out on?
I think it's really homey. Like, that's the vibe when you first walk through, but then the actual way that they're giving you food, you get your main course, you usually get a soup, you get another side. Sometimes there's your source of carbs here, breadsticks. It really depends on the one you go to, but there's multiple elements to your meal. It's not like you just walk in and go, burger and fries. There's much more than that. Am I kind of on the right track, Hunter?
Yeah, and it's a steak kind of dinner. You get
good point.
There's a lot of places like the Tornado Room here in Madison. You get like a relish cup, so you've got some different things there to start with.
I've been to the Tornado Room, so okay, all right.
Oh,
I'm a big liar.
You've been ingratiated.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, that's it. Tornado Room, I feel like, is more steakhouse, but it's close to a supper club.
Yeah.
Basically, in Wisconsin at this point, like a supper club, if you walk in and it feels like you walked into a house from the 1970s, like that's the kind of vibe that you're gonna get then, and it's just it's great. It's like you take that feeling of like a homey dive bar feeling, but you class it up a little bit and you serve steak, and then you've got yourself a supper club.
844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text Line list is more. We want to hear, too, what you think makes Wisconsin sexy. We've talked about supper clubs. We've talked about the golf courses. I brought up the lakes. Corey has a lot of Dodge County gems, too.
Yep.
Man, so many different things. Hunter, you also went to school in Oshkosh as well. Is it Osh Vegas? Is that? I feel like, the annoying thing, though, too, is like, so I was in Platteville, and then they call it P Vegas, and then there's Osh Vegas. Why is everything insert here Vegas? Like, let's get a little more original, okay?
Well, because we just know how to party here in Wisconsin.
Well, apparently they know how to party in P Vegas, too. Well, okay, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, in Wisconsin.
It's also Slosh Gosh was a common one.
Oh,
see, I like that one. Aren't you on your way to Slosh? Aren't you on your way to Oshkosh?
I'm an alum, too, so me and Hunter went to the same college, and that is our coined nickname up there.
Tighten
Slosh
up.
Gosh. Yep.
Tighten up. Oh, my goodness. Oh, all right. So what has made Wisconsin sexy? We are already getting well off the rails here, and what a time to talk about this here at TPC Wisconsin. Pablo Iglesias, Corey Sparks, the Milwaukee Brewers, too. Just that is, again, why we're talking about this Katie Nolan podcast, Casuals. She brought up the question, is Milwaukee sexy, because of the Milwaukee Brewers? And, man, what a way that last night's game ended, too. It was just phenomenal. I think just off the rails, just exciting. Corey, real quick, we'll talk about this in the next segment, too, but how are you feeling about this team? What excites you the most? But I know you're a Cub fan, too,
Yeah.
so I kind of want to know where you're at a little bit.
So, Cub fan Corey's petrified, but also I think I've reached that point where I'm like, we're not catching them. Like, that's just not going to happen.
Five
They're
games back?
out already.
Yeah.
In the blink of an eye. It felt like there was a little, like, you ever watch, NASCAR or other races where you close in on someone, you're drafting, but you can't pass them? That was the case with the Cubs and Brewers for a little bit there, where they were tied, one game, back to tied, one game. Then the series happened between the Cubs and Brewers, where Milwaukee took 2 of 3, and now they've just pulled away. And that's just the reality of it. As someone in content here, and as someone at ESPN Wisconsin, they are so fun to watch. And I actually have a stat for you here. I was on X earlier this morning. It was Opta Stats, said in the last 40 years, only one MLB player has had a direct outfield assist to cut down the potential tying run at the plate to end the game on 2 occasions. That's Blake Perkins. He did it last year, June 16th, against the Reds, and then yesterday against the Mets. Only player to do that, Blake Perkins, center fielder.
Didn't they also have another stat, too, throughout the that road sweep where they scored over 50 runs? They didn't commit a single error.
Yes,
they were the only team. They were the only team in Major League Baseball history to do it.
The power of friendship.
The power of friendship
and
is
pocket pancakes.
You gotta love it. The power of friendship and pocket pancakes are what is fueling this team. We will talk a lot more about that, because that is what's making Wisconsin sexy right now. The Milwaukee Brewers, could they be flirting with the Commissioner's Trophy in their hands for the first time? We'll talk more about that. Pablo Iglesias, Corey Sparks. This is the Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN.
Stay tuned. Saturday Scramble continues after this on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. It's all about the green and gold and nonsense on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Jaden Reed is a good receiver, but what Matthew Golden can be is a true number 1 for the Green Bay Packers. And so I get excited when I hear the quarterback in Jordan Love. And again, Jordan Love isn't just heaping this praise on him because he likes him. No, Jordan Love is being honest.
Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. Presented by Michelob Ultra, the superior light beer. Weekdays from 2 till 4 on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Greg Scalzo here for Buck and Honey's. This summer, soak up the sun and savor the flavor at Buck and Honey's. Their spacious patios are the ideal spot to enjoy award-winning dishes, craft cocktails, in an unbeatable atmosphere. Perfect for a casual lunch or a night out with friends. Plus, with fresh seasonal dishes and exceptional service, they're here to make every visit special. Visit their locations in Sun Prairie, Monona, Wanakee, or Mount Horeb. Celebrate summer the right way, on the patio with great company. I'll see you at Buck and Honey's.
Bringing summer gatherings to the next level is just another thing we do at Celebrations Entertainment. Hi, it's Jeffrey. With rental items like sound equipment, photo booths, and even yard games, you can make your event the party that everyone talks about. Any event like graduation parties, block parties, or even a backyard barbecue can be elevated with fun, interactive items to make everyone ask, hey, how'd you pull this off? Just tell them celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Madison's home of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Lots up top to Giannis. Whoa, what a play!
Wisconsin Badgers volleyball.
Underneath it, bump set, left side, powers it down. What a rally, and Wisconsin comes out on top. And
now, the Milwaukee Brewers.
Fly ball to center. It is way back, and it is gone!
This is Madison's new home of the Milwaukee Brewers, 100.5 ESPN.
Grassland butter is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin. Grassland is family-owned and has been crafting butter for 5 generations. That's why at Grassland Butter, you're more than just an employee, you're family. The Wietrich family believes in supporting each other, growing together, and building a workplace where everyone feels valued. Your voice matters at Grassland Dairy. Your success is our success. Join a team where culture isn't just a buzzword, it's how we live every day. Check us out online at grassland.com. That's grassland.com.
This update is sponsored by UW Credit Union. For every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you.
Play Brewers Baseball Bingo presented by U.S. Cellular for the chance to win prizes all season long. Download the MLB Ballpark app from the App Store or Google Play to get in on the action.
Join UW Credit Union at uwcu.org. Insured by NCUA.
Gear up for Quick Trip's Mountain Dew Quick Climb. Now through August 17th. Play free daily in the Quick Rewards app and earn bonus plays with every eligible purchase. Grab one with hot food. That's 2 bonus plays. Each week, the cash prize climbs by $5,000, all the way to a $250,000 grand prize. So open the app and get climbing. Your summer, your climb, your win. No purchase necessary. Open to U.S. residents residing in Illinois, Iowa, Minnesota, Michigan, South Dakota, North Dakota, or Wisconsin. Ends August 17th. Bonus plays require qualifying purchase. See full rules at quicktrip.com/sweepstakes.
The Bucky Badger Student Mascot Fund was created to support the amazing student athletes who bring the best mascot in the world to life. Hey, my name is Stacy Bruner. I was Bucky Badger from 2010 to 2014. My most memorable sports moment was running out the flag at the 2013 Rose Bowl versus Stanford. Your donation will help fund new scholarships to ensure that the rich tradition of Bucky lives on. Learn more at supportbucky.org. That's supportbucky.org.
You're listening to Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
1-1 pitch. Flare, shallow center, base hit. Marte's being set. Here's the throw from Perkins. It is going to be in time! Game over!
Jeff Levering on the call from last night's electric wave for the Brewers. Can we call that a walk-off put-out? If we can't, we will.
Ended on the play.
A walk-off put-out from Blake Perkins in center field. William Contreras on the scoop, getting the tag down, forcing or making sure that the tying run does not cross the plate in an electric fashion to get the 27th out as the Brewers win the 7th in a row. Pablo Iglesias, Corey Sparks, live from TPC, Wisconsin. Here as the member guest outing is going on here on the Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN. Brewers are red hot, and gentlemen, I have some breaking news to let you know of too. And this is including Pat Murphy. Hunter, do we have something back in the Everlight Solar Studio? Should we cue this up?
Broadcasting live from the Everlight
All right.
Solar Studio.
No,
well, here we
thought
go.
That was a regular breaking news. Riley decided to not title things what they actually are.
It's like, Live Sports Center loading. Let's
Riley
go.
Yauk, who was
Riley Yauk.
Riley too, by the way, who was thank you to Hunter Vaughn, who's filling in for us at the Everlight Solar Studio, helping us out produce this show. Riley Yauk apparently too is taking a road trip across America over to Salt Lake City, moving his friend out there. So he was at a bachelor party last weekend. This weekend he's out at Salt Lake City, Utah. I don't know. I think we have the same crew next week too for those of you who love listening to us. So
here, let's try this one more
time.
Let's see.
Let's do it. There we go.
Oh, baby. This is some breaking news.
False start. There we go. We've got breaking news, gentlemen, and I believe that this is going to be part of an induction on August 11th. Pat Murphy is headed to the Hall of Fame, the Irish American Baseball Hall of Fame. So add that to the resume.
Wow.
Was soon to be World Series trophy. That's the big breaking news. Apparently,
have a year.
Milwaukee Brewers manager has been named the latest inductee to the Irish American Baseball Hall of Fame. Murphy, whose Irish heritage traces back to County Louth, will officially be inducted on August 11th prior to the Brewers' home game at American Family Field in Milwaukee. How about that? Pocket pancakes, and now you're an Irish Baseball Hall of Famer.
He has to win Manager of the Year this year, right?
I feel like he has to at this rate, right?
Based on the expectations, they were 24 and 26. Pablo, you were bringing up in the break, You're like, remember the Nationals team that went all the way and won it? Didn't they have a tough start? Yeah, they were 19-31 through the first 50 games. Still very hard to overcome, being 24-26. Obviously, a lot of baseball left at that point, but this team has been red hot. They're coming off the best 60-game stretch in their franchise's history. This team is so fun to watch, and Pat Murphy is a huge reason why.
I think it's just so great to watch this team, and we talked about this yesterday when I was on the Damn Sports Show with you yesterday, Corey. You can go back and listen to that on Daily Dodge TV. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. See, we don't have the bell. We don't have the bell where we
the manual bell.
Yes, our manual bell. We've got hotkeys in Madison. There we go. Thank you, Hunter. But that's what we're talking about. Where it just feels like that this team is fully bought in, and the question too was, are you taking a lot of stock into this weekend series? I said no, just because if this series with the Mets were to have happened at the beginning of the season, maybe I'm thinking a little bit more of this because the heartbreak is a lot more soon. And Evan Cohen even on Jim, Matt, and Molly proposed the question of the flip side of, would you trade out 5 years of the Packers not making the playoffs for a Brewers World Series? And he's saying that it all depends on when you ask the question about timing. I say, too, and he's even acknowledged that it's just about the moment right now, too. Let's just ride the moment. Let's just have fun. Let's enjoy it. So I just go back to that where I'm like, this Mets series is exciting. You do think about the basically what they did to the Brewers last season, but also it's like it's just kind of moved on. You're just looking forward at this point.
It's two different philosophies too. I think last night's win is a little more sweeter because it's up against one of the highest payroll teams in baseball, and the Brewers just have to continuously ball on a budget, and they've been doing that. They look remarkable. I like that question too of, would you trade off the 5 years of the Packers not making the playoffs for a Brewers title? I would. The Milwaukee Brewers have not won a World Series title. I would 100% do it. I'd reference back. We were saying it yesterday on the Damn Sports Show, too.
They had a parade for the second-place finisher.
Yeah. The Bucks, when they won it in 2021, that was the first time in 50 years. So it hadn't never happened before, but a large chunk of that fan base that was out there at Deer District hadn't experienced this before. So I think it would be so sweet. And frankly, Pablo, this team at this point of the year, they deserve to win the World Series. It's about who gets hot at the right time. I know that's a big worry. Is this momentum going to carry all the way through the month of October, early on into November? But this team, out of anybody else right now, based on the cards they're dealt year after year after year, and the record they have right now and what they're doing, the Blake Perkins walk-off put-out, if you will, they deserve to win the World Series more than anybody else.
Pablo Iglesias, Corey Sparks here live from TPC, Wisconsin. This is the Saturday Scramble. 844-770-3776, the Carbless Talking text line. Less is more. We want to put out this poll question, too, to ask you just, there have been a lot of exciting things this season, too, with, there's been Ms. Mania, there's the pocket pancakes, and shout out to the Apple TV reporter who ate the pancake on live television. That is commitment to a live shot.
Goodness, yeah.
I've done, and in my past, too, of being in local TV for a little bit, I have committed to the bit on live television. That's next level. I gotta give him credit. Yes, I gotta give her credit for that. No notes. So I feel like Ms. Mania, the pocket pancakes, the power of friendship, and one more. And we might even bring him in. We want to talk about this some more about his long lost cousin, Vaughn Mania, or what do we want to call it? We don't want to call it. King Vaughn. The reign of King Vaughn. Let's put those four up on the ESPN Madison Twitter poll of what of those four has excited you the most about this thrilling Brewers season. Corey, let's go with you. Out of those
story,
four,
man. I not to be prisoner of the moment, but I think King Vaughn is so cool. Miz is a close second because he was a second-round pick. He was a highly touted prospect. I really liked him. Control issues were kind of in there, and then he makes his debut and then just doesn't give up a hit for umpteen innings. But Andrew Vaughn was the number 3 overall pick, a great prospect. He goes to the Sox, kind of stumbles around a bit. Obviously, they're not winning a lot of baseball games, and then all of a sudden, this trade happens on Aaron Savali's 30th birthday when Miz gets called up. Those two are actually correlated together. Miz getting called up led to Savali going, I would actually rather be a starter. I want to be in your rotation. Trade me. Goes to the Sox. The Sox give the Brewers Andrew Vaughn, who was struggling mightily, and he's putting up career numbers over the course of this stretch since they basically picked him up. So I think Andrew Vaughn is the story because it's nice to know that there was something to unlock. After a couple of years of not seeing great baseball out of him, you start to wonder, was this guy a dud? It's really hard to scout in baseball, but there was something to unlock, and Pat Murphy and this entire team did it. Even credit to the guys in AAA Nashville. He was playing with the Sounds a little bit before he went up to the Brewers. Something switched. They flipped his switch, and he looks remarkable. It's a cool story.
What I really love about how Andrew Vaughn has flipped the switch, I've talked about this on the show before too. I'm a White Sox fan. I've grew up on the south side of the city. I saw this kid come up. I was very excited. It is, I believe he was on Intentional Talk on MLB Network and asked what the secret sauce was, and Andrew Vaughn saying that Pat Murphy said to him, play like a Neanderthal. just play loose.
Yeah,
Don't even
be
think.
free.
And you can see that there's a lot more of a loose ball player in Andrew Vaughn. He's having fun. He's enjoying himself. Just to pull back the curtain of what his White Sox and Major League Baseball career started out with, the White Sox threw him in left field because of an injury.
Yep.
So he's already put in a position that he has no idea how to play. He's trying to do all these different things. I'm not going to lie. Don't put him in the outfield. I will tell you this, especially the Hunter, too, who I know is the big Brewers fan out of this trio right now. Do not put him in the outfield, please. Keep him behind. Keep him at the plate. Yes, I don't think they will. I don't understand to this day why that decision was made, but it is what it is. He's a big, powerful bat. It's fun that he's coming up in clutch moments, though, too. And it's finally fun, even though it's not at my team's, he's not succeeding with my team. It's still fun to see that Andrew Vaughn is just absolutely raking. He's the first rounder that we knew that he always had that promise. He always had that big bat when he was coming out of Cal. And, man, it's exciting to see him do what he's doing right now.
I think there's something to be said, too, about just being protected in the lineup. The Brewers are not like a lot of other teams where you have that one standout star, where opposing pitchers can go in and go, I'm going to watch out for Christian Yelich. I'm going to watch out for Jackson Chourio. I just named two guys right there that are threats. You could go down the line. You could go Isaac Collins this past month. You could go Caleb Durbin. You could go, now, Andrew Vaughn, the long-lost cousin of our great producer for today, Hunter Vaughn. I think the fact that the Brewers are so multifaceted in their approach and that you cannot just pitch around guys because the next 8 are going to give you hell, I think that's a really strong lineup and a strong scheme to be a part of. And, again, with the White Sox struggling lately, it's not to say all the pressure was on Vaughn, but a lot of times he was hitting out of the cleanup spot, he was hitting third, he was hitting fifth. He was higher up on the pecking order for teams' plans. When teams play the Brewers, they have to worry about not being down 6-1 in the third inning, and that's not because of one player. And I think just being in that environment and having a coach tell you just play like a Neanderthal, just go out there and be loose, it helps the mindset too. Baseball's a big mental game.
So I just pulled up some numbers too because I was curious because you brought up Christian Yelich and how much it looks like there is a little bit of that swagger back.
Yes.
Christian Yelich, at least according to some of the sports books that I'm seeing across the board as of mid last month, plus 3,800 for the comeback player of the year. I know you got Ronald Acuna coming back, but I feel like Christian Yelich should be up there a little higher now based off of the way that he finished off the month of July. And Dominic Cotroneo, who we had a few weeks ago here on the Saturday Scramble, also pointed out when I had asked him, how does he feel like this team, or what is it about this team? Why are they gelling a lot more? And he pointed to Christian Yelich. He pointed that Christian Yelich is, he's not at the MVP level that he once was, but he's swinging the bat a lot better right now.
I don't think these guys look at numbers a ton, but maybe they do. But we do. And the 20th home run he had not too long ago is the first time he eclipsed 20 home runs since 2019. That magical 44 home run, 97 RBI season. 2018, he had 36 of them. So I think it was a bit of a monkey off the back to be like, okay. Hey, obviously, he hasn't been completely healthy the last few years, but again, there has to be a bit of a mental aspect to it, too. Like, do I swing at 110% at this baseball, knowing what my injury history's been? And again, I think it's just part of having so much talent around him and a really supportive coaching staff to know I don't have to shoulder the load for this team. And when you relieve pressure off somebody like Andrew Vaughn, like Christian Yelich, all of a sudden they start playing more free, and they're reaping in the benefits right now.
Man, it's going to be fun to see what this team does in October. And another team is just getting started. Preseason football is kicking off for the Green Bay Packers. They face the Jets later tonight at Lambeau Field. We've got Jason Wilde, our insider, talking more Packer football. That's coming up next here on the Saturday Scramble. Pablo Iglesias, Corey Sparks on 100.5 ESPN.
Football! Stay tuned. Saturday Scramble continues after this on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Greg Scalzi here for Total Athlete Performance. They're here to provide elite performance training for serious athletes in the Madison area. And there's a new Verona TAP facility open inside of the Verona Athletic Center. Summer speed, agility, and semi-private options are now available at both Verona and Windsor locations, and now offering monthly subscription payment options. Plus, you can download the new Total Athlete Performance app for remote training options all year round. Visit tapwisconsin.com. That's tapwisconsin.com.
The sound of summer is on ESPN Madison.
The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Madison's home of the Brewers.
Mizorowski deals. Struck him out. A heater at 101.
Catch every Milwaukee Brewers game this season on 100.5 ESPN.
Back and watching it sail. It's a grand slam.
Brewers baseball on ESPN Madison is presented by Hard Rock Casino Rockford and brought to you by the Pfister Hotel in downtown Milwaukee.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
1, 2, 3 into the 4. Avondale Roofing is knocking on your door. Leaking roof? Man, that's a shame. Call the real pros. We running this game. We patch it, thatch it, no need to stress. Our crew shows up and cleans up the mess. No drips, no drafts, no drama at all. Just tight new shingles that are leak-proof hall. Hey.
It's nothing but Avondale, baby. They keep it dry when the weather gets crazy. Hey.
Visit AvondaleRoofing.com. That is AvondaleRoofing.com.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
You're listening to Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Some good news. Sydney sipping on cold fruit. Nobody knows what I'm going through, but the devil will walk in my shoes. Wish someone.
Checking in on the Saturday Scramble poll, what has been your favorite part of the season? Real quick, you could go ahead and vote on that. Ms. Mania has just taken the lead over Pocket Pancakes and the Power of Friendship. We are now calling in the Power of Friendship on our side here at the Saturday Scramble. Pablo Iglesias, Corey Sparks live at TPC Wisconsin as the member guest outing is going on here. 100.5 ESPN and also on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Jason Wilde, you can hear him from 9 to noon on Wilde and Tausch. He joins us now on the Saturday Scramble. Jason, good morning. How we doing today?
Which one of you is the member and which one of you is the guest of the Saturday Scramble?
I have tried to.
I've got to be the guest.
Well, yes. Wow. How great. How well timed this is too. You know, I'm the staple of the Saturday Scramble. We have our guest Corey Sparks.
That's why we did this.
Yes, that's exactly why we did this. This was perfect timing.
I'm glad that I can be part of this show not once, but twice.
You love to see it. You love to see it. Well, Jason.
Well, I feel like I just did the show yesterday, so now I'm going to do it again. We couldn't just recycle my appearance?
Yeah, we'll just actually, yep. You know what? Hey, here was Jason Wilde on the Damn Sports Show yesterday. Let's get
Listen
that
back. Pre-produced segment. See you in 10 minutes.
We'll play it back.
You guys can go get a snack or something at the snack bar. Yeah.
You're talking
No,
about
what do you got for me?
Well, before we get going, Jason, we talked about this in the first segment. Katie Nolan's podcast, Casuals, asked a very interesting question. As the Milwaukee Brewers are putting Wisconsin on the national landscape, her big question, is Milwaukee sexy? So we went bigger and asked, Jason, we want to know from you, what do you think makes Wisconsin sexy?
First of all, I always
I'm sure you've never been asked this question before. You're always asked this question, right?
Yeah, I get this a lot. Yeah. First of all, like it's great to know that Katie is doing stuff because there was a time where she was the hottest thing going in terms of sports commentary. Like she's so ridiculously talented. And she was at ESPN for a while, then she moved on from there. So I have to admit, my schedule's a little busy with training camp and covering this team. So I was not aware that she was doing a different podcast. So now I'm looking forward to looking into that. From a sexiness perspective, I think there's a lot of people that you could ask about that. I don't think there's much sexy about me at this point, so I'm probably not a real good expert on that. I will say this. My absolute favorite thing, having grown up in Milwaukee and it being my hometown, is Summerfest. And I don't know if that qualifies as sexy, but it is unique. I don't think there's any city in the country that has the kind of music festival that we have in Milwaukee. So, in Wisconsin, I assume I have to say like cheese curds are sexy, but again, I don't feel qualified to answer the question, frankly.
Jason, you are qualified to answer any question we throw to you. That's why we have you here. We don't want to talk about the Green Bay Packers. We want to know what Jason Wilde thinks is sexy about Wisconsin.
Well, at this point, I'm more drawn to cute than sexy.
Got it.
Like we got these two kittens now, and so I talk a lot about cute things. I don't talk about sexy things anymore. So I'm more of a cute expert than a sexy expert.
Okay.
Well, we
majoring in cuteology.
Well, Jason, as we get ready for preseason football, for the what a start! What a start! I'm sure this is exactly
how's your good Theo? How's your good Theo?
We've got more guests here joining us on the Saturday. More guests here at the member guests. This is just perfect.
He's pretty
now.
quiet. Yeah.
Well,
I'm sorry. Let's get focused here, for crying out loud.
Let's lock in. We got to lock in, guys. Packer football kicking off. Just a load of different things right now. Of course, I know, Jason, you mentioned that the starters, your experience too, when you went to Pittsburgh and Jordan Nelson blowing his ACL, that's a concern as to how long the starters will be out there. I mean, do you expect the starters, though, against the Jets to at least be out there for a series, or is it more of just playing it safe for this first preseason game?
No, I expect the starters to be out there now. I'm not sure which ones will actually be out there because we know that Xavier McKinney won't play. He's got that calf injury. He is extremely confident he'll be ready for the opener, but they are playing, as Mike McCarthy might say, the high side of caution when it comes to him. But Jordan Love's going to play. Josh Jacobs is going to play. The question is how long. Like, if they go 3 and out, do they come out for a second series offensively? If they go 3 and out defensively, I think then those guys will be done. But if they go 3 and out offensively and don't pick up a first down, do you send them back out there for a second series? Maybe. It's certainly a possibility. But you're right. I am cautious by nature, which is the second song off of that album that has OPP, Naughty by Nature. I just don't want to get a guy hurt in a game that doesn't count. I just don't want to do it. And so I get that they feel like they need to. I get that Matt LaFleur claims that there's NFL data that shows guys are less likely to suffer an injury in the first 5 weeks of the season if they have played in the preseason. I still don't know what that magic number is, And there's still the risk of an injury being suffered in the preseason game that they are playing in, like Jordy Nelson did. So, I'm sure Jordy Nelson would have benefited during the first 5 games of the 2015 season from having played in the preseason. Unfortunately, he didn't get a chance because he blew out his ACL. So, they have been physical in camp. That's obviously been a buzzword. They have 2 joint practices on the schedule, one in Indianapolis next week, one with the Seahawks in Green Bay the following week. So they have plenty of work still that they'll be able to do. I'm always going to be not holding my breath, but certainly a little nervous for guys when they're out there in a game that doesn't count.
Jason, you just brought up, training camp's been physical, started a couple of weeks ago, but this is the first time these players get game action against the Jets today. What gets you the most excited for tonight's preseason opener?
Good question, Corey. It's basically the guys that are trying to keep the NFL dream alive, right? I mean, that's what the preseason games are really supposed to be about, is, the guys that you need to find out about, the guys that you don't know at this point exactly what they're capable of. Now, my absolute favorite angle for tonight, and I just posted it to channel3000.com, is the Bo Melton angle. I mean, and I just love, Corey, you've heard me talk about this before. I just love everything he's about.
Oh, yeah.
And he's exactly the kind of guy you want on your team. And I don't care what team it is. I don't care what level it is. If it's, the NFL or it's, girls volleyball on JV1. And so I'm really excited that his teammates are so jazzed for him. And, what happened on Thursday with Nate Hobbs still sidelined, they're hoping he's back for the opener. But with Nate Hobbs out with the knee injury and with Keyshawn Nixon getting the day off from practice, we'll see if he actually plays today or not. Bo Melton ran with the number 1 defense. Now, you can look at that from 2 perspectives. On one side, holy cow, you got a wide receiver at corner and he's running with the ones? That's not great. But in terms of getting him work with Carrington Valentine and now getting him actual playing time against an opponent in a game for the first time playing a different position, to me, that's one of my favorite angles for tonight. So it's that. It's obviously a bunch of guys, the guys like Omar Brown, who had 3 interceptions on family night. Can he parlay that into a good performance against the Jets? Don't forget Braylon Allen is coming back with the Jets, so that'll be interesting. Right. So there's lots of reasons for fans to take an interest in this game, even if it's obviously a preseason game and doesn't count the standings.
Braylon Allen, former Badger. Joe Tippmann, former Badger as well. I think he may be getting the start at center for the Jets. So, so a lot of
Aaron Rodgers, the quarterback. Oh, no, wait, no.
It's the Aaron Rodgers Bowl.
He's going to be there. He'll show up. Well, Jason, we're talking with Jason Wilde here. You can also hear him, Wilde and Tausch, 9 to noon on 100.5 ESPN and across ESPN Wisconsin. Jason, you also picked Savion Williams as your Steinhaffel's Sleeper of the Week as you guys did your green and gold preview. What are you seeing in training camp? What drew you to Savion to be tonight's sleeper?
Well, the primary reason is, unlike other people on the panel, I pick people who are legit sleepers. Tausch picked Matthew Golden.
Oh, goodness.
So, again, there's a difference of opinion on what defines a sleeper. So I picked Savion Williams because he has really been unable to get his footing in training camp so far. He had a shoulder surgery after his college season, so he took part in some of the off-season program, but anytime he was on the field, he was wearing a red quarterback non-contact jersey. He has not been able to stay on the field during training camp either because he got a concussion during the non-padded portion of the early part of training camp. So, he's a guy that, as a third-round pick, they have some ideas for how they'd like to use him, and they'd really like to see if he can execute them. So I think he's going to have some opportunities tonight to get some valuable work, and we'll see what he's able to do with it.
Jason, we've heard the team needs to be more physical on defense. That's one of the mantras going into the 2025-26 season. Even with the second and third teamers likely getting a bulk of the workload tonight, how important is it to see that physicality and the Punisher mentality out there tonight?
Yeah, and Corey, I wouldn't just limit it to the defense either, right? I mean, the offensive line got pushed around by the Eagles in that playoff game, and whether the Packers want to admit it or not, publicly, they've admitted it privately and with their actions, right? I mean, how many times did Carrington Valentine get stiff-armed by Dallas Goedert on that one play in the playoff game? Like, that was tough to watch, right? And you saw Saquon Barkley run over them, even though they had a really good defensive performance overall, and it was the offense that largely let them down. So it goes on. It's certainly on both sides. It's certainly been an emphasis. It has certainly been something of an issue through the first couple weeks of camp, with a couple guys going across the line of what's acceptable against your own teammates. But it has to be up and down the roster, Corey. I mean, it has to be all of those guys, because, again, you don't know. Bo Melton's probably going to start tonight. I don't think any of us had that on our bingo card for the first game of the preseason. So you don't know when your opportunity is going to be, and if you're getting an opportunity, you better show the physicality that this team is looking for.
Yeah, Jason, I'm glad you brought up Bo Melton, too, because this will be his first start. I mean, it would be fun to see him be the two-way player, but it looks like more so that it's going to be defensively. What are you expecting from him? How has he been progressing at the position, a cornerback, right now?
Yeah, I think what's interesting is that he's become more than just a feel-good story. I mean, he really has. And if you talk to Jeff Hafley, if you talk to Xavier McKinney, you talk to Matt LaFleur, they all say the same thing, and that is they've been surprised at how quickly he's picked it up and how effectively he's picked it up. I don't think, when you move positions, I don't think anybody's expecting you, especially if you're a wide receiver becoming a corner, I don't think there's a whole lot of people expecting you to be Darrelle Revis. And believe me, Bo will be the first one to tell you that he is not Darrelle Revis. But he is way further along than I think anyone, including him, expected. So that's what's cool about this, is that it's not just a offbeat story that you think, oh, well, isn't that cute? They took the guy that everybody likes on the team and they put him at a new position because they just want him to stay on the team for special teams purposes and for cultural purposes. That's not the case anymore, and he's done enough that they're thinking, you know what? It's going to be a while. We don't want him out there on September 7th, one-on-one against Amon-Ra St. Brown or Jamison Williams. But we definitely want to see more of him because he's made an impression that he knows what he's doing and he's got real potential at this position.
One more for you, Jason. I know you wrote a story on Channel 3000.
No, sorry, I'm out of time. No,
okay.
You can't. No,
sounds
sorry.
good.
He's got laundry to fold. Come on, don't you remember this
That's
from
a good
yesterday?
Point. That's right, the laundry.
No, I'm ready. What do you got, Corey?
Sounds good. You wrote a story at channel3000.com about Rashawn Gary holding himself to a higher standard, wholeheartedly acknowledging he needs to be better. What was it about that career year a few seasons back that he's looking to channel in and lock in on this season?
Yeah, what I find a little bit vexing about him is, I don't know, look, I have lots of shortcomings. I can put Paula on the phone to go through the list, but I don't think self-awareness is one of them. Like, I kind of know my limitations, what I'm good at, what I'm not, at least. And, Rashawn Gary said he's been dominant. I was kind of like, I don't think that word means the same thing to you that it means to me, right? Like, Trey Hendrickson has been dominant. TJ Watt has been dominant. Aaron Donald was dominant. And sacks aren't the only way to measure a guy's efficiency as a pass rusher, but as Rob Domofsky mentioned in his story on ESPN.com, among edge rushers or among pass rushers in general, he was 45th in the league last year in pressures and 60th in the league in pressure percentage. So that does not say dominant to me. And so, and maybe I was a little guilty of asking leading questions. But, what I said to him to generate that response about, I've got to pick my game up is that, I said, you always say you're your harshest critic. And he said, mm-hmm. And I said, and you said you've been dominant. Mm-hmm. Well, does this team need you to be more dominant than you've been? And that was when he said what he did. And so, maybe if this was in a Law and Order episode, Sam Waterston would jump up to his feet and say, "Objection, leading the witness." But the fact of the matter is that however we got there, I do think that's the truth. And for a guy that has the second highest cap number on the team behind Jordan Love, they need more bang for their buck. And maybe in year 2 of Hafley's system, they will get that from him. But he's going into year 7, and he did have the ACL in 2022. But at some point, you got to be the guy that they're counting on you being. And, I think Lucas Van Ness is in a similar spot. Tonight's going to be really interesting. One of the 3 things to watch that I put in my preview is let's see what Lucas Van Ness does, because on the other team, remember for that Aaron Rodgers trade, they did the pick swap. So the Packers were supposed to pick 15th, and as part of the trade, they moved from 15th to 13th into the Jets spot, and then the Jets picked 15th. Well, the Packers took Lucas Van Ness at 13. At 15, the Jets took Will McDonald, who went to Pulaski High School in Milwaukee and then transferred to Waukesha North. He grew up in the Pewaukee, Milwaukee area. And this is a dude that had 10.5 sacks last year. Lucas Van Ness had 3. So again, those 2 guys, Rashawn Gary is the 12th overall pick in 2019. Lucas Van Ness is the 13th overall pick in 2023. You draft those guys to be field-tilting, dominant players. And that's what the Packers need from both of them this season.
Jason, before we let you go, got one more question for you. This is coming from the Twitter sphere. Our own Alex Strofe asking, he is attending a wedding tonight, and we want to get your insight on this one. He's attending a wedding tonight. He's the +1. He wants to know, is it rude to watch the Packers preseason game on his phone during the reception? We want to know where you stand on that before we let you go, Jason.
All right. Well, I assume he's the +1 for his lovely girlfriend, who
Correct.
I don't know how much he talks about her, so I don't want to be putting all of his business out on the street. But Allie's great, and quite frankly, he's outkicked his coverage, and we know that from seeing him try to kick a field goal, trying to hit a baseball, trying to run the 3-cone drill. But I would say this: if there are and unlike the sexy question to start, I think I know how to stay in the good graces of your better half. I know how to behave at events like this. I would say this: if Allie wants to dance, put down the phone. If Allie is fine with you having your Coors Light or whatever you might be having, your Shirley Temple kitty cocktail, and watching the game for a while, then by all means do it. And then when you get to the Macarena or the chicken dance or whatever else, and she wants you out there, take a break.
Worm?
Yeah, if there's video of him doing the worm, and if he somehow does that successfully, it'll completely redeem him in my eyes from all the other athletic attempts that he has made on social media of late. But just make sure that I think everything, the old saying, everything in moderation, including moderation. I think this would be an instance where just make sure that you're balancing being a really good +1 to Allie while also getting what you want out of watching the Packers game. So I think someone as smart as Strofe can find that line and not step one way or the other too far.
Jason, are you a big wedding dancer? I got to know this real quick.
What's
the song that gets you out on the dance floor?
That's a great question. So Paula and I, a good friend of ours, is the head of the cheer and dance team, Josette. And so when we got married 16 years ago, one of her UW dance team members choreographed a dance for us to do to Chris Brown's Forever.
Yes.
And I'll tell you what, if I can find a way to convert the video from DVD to digital, someday I will share that widely, because I personally would say, there's like all these people that dance now on social media. It was a little, I was a man ahead of his time. I'm just going to be honest. But that is the song that you play that at a wedding, you're playing my song, quite literally.
Well, we usually have walk-up music for Jason Wilde. Now we have walk-off music for him as Hunter Vaughn is queued up Forever. This is a great way to end this. Jason Wilde, again, you can hear him from 9 to noon across ESPN Wisconsin on Wilde and Tausch. A man who can do it all. He can dance. He's also, I believe, a golf coach, too, for his daughters. And, of course, he is a Packers insider. You can read everything from tonight's game, too, on channel3000.com. You'll hear more, too, on Reaction Monday on Wilde and Tausch. Jason Wilde, once again, joining us on the Saturday Scramble. Thanks, Jason. Appreciate your time.
If only I was on video, you could see me dancing right now. Thanks, Hunter. I appreciate the walkout music. All right, guys. Take care. Be good.
I love it. All right. Well, hey, we've got wish we had forever to talk about everything that we had here, but a lot to take away from this. We'll recap hour one in just a little bit. This is the Saturday Scramble. Pablo Iglesias, Corey Sparks, live from TPC, Wisconsin on 100.5 ESPN.
Stay tuned. Saturday Scramble continues after this on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. We ask and you answer. Tune in to Jim, Matt, and Molly every weekday 4 to 6 and follow at Jim, Matt, Molly on X to vote in daily poll questions presented by Siding Unlimited. Trust Siding Unlimited with your next window and door project.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Jim Rutledge here. It's officially camping season, which means I will be using my big blue truck from Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. You're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. What does that mean? It means it's a customized buying experience. If you're an expert and you know what you want, they're happy to let you take the lead. And if you have a ton of questions, Aaron, Tyler, and the whole team at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb will make sure they can answer them all. You're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
Bringing summer gatherings to the next level is just another thing we do at Celebrations Entertainment. Hi, it's Jeffrey. With rental items like sound equipment, photo booths, and even yard games, you can make your event the party that everyone talks about. Any event like graduation parties, block parties, or even a backyard barbecue can be elevated with fun, interactive items to make everyone ask, hey, how'd you pull this off? Just tell them celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Madison's home of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Lots up top to Giannis. Whoa, what a play!
Wisconsin Badgers volleyball.
Underneath it, bump set, left side, powers it down. What a rally, and Wisconsin comes out on top.
And now, the Milwaukee Brewers.
Fly ball to center. It is way back, and it is gone.
This is Madison's new home of the Milwaukee Brewers, 100.5 ESPN.
Grassland butter is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin. Grassland is family owned and has been crafting butter for 5 generations. That's why at Grassland Butter, you're more than just an employee, you're family. The Wietrich family believes in supporting each other, growing together, and building a workplace where everyone feels valued. Your voice matters at Grassland Dairy. Your success is our success. Join a team where culture isn't just a buzzword, it's how we live every day. Check us out online at grassland.com. That's grassland.com.
This update is sponsored by UW Credit Union. For every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you. Play Brewers Baseball Bingo presented by U.S. Cellular for the chance to win prizes all season long. Download the MLB Ballpark app from the App Store or Google Play to get in on the action. Join UW Credit Union at uwcu.org. Insured by NCUA.
Gear up for Quick Trip's Mountain Dew Quick Climb. Now through August 17th. Play free daily in the Quick Rewards app and earn bonus plays with every eligible purchase. Grab one with hot food. That's 2 bonus plays. Each week, the cash prize climbs by $5,000, all the way to a $250,000 grand prize. So open the app and get climbing. Your summer, your climb, your win. No purchase necessary. Open to U.S. residents residing in Illinois, Iowa, Minnesota, Michigan, South Dakota, North Dakota, or Wisconsin. Ends August 17th. Bonus plays require qualifying purchase. See full rules at quicktrip.com/sweepstakes.
You're listening to Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Well, we learned a lot from Jason Wilde that he is a dancer.
Forever.
Forever.
That's the song.
That was a great song.
Great cue, Hunter, by the way.
I love that. Corey, what do you think, too? I asked Jason on the way out of this, what if there was one song that you heard at a wedding, whatever, let's go wedding. Mm-hmm. You hear one song at a wedding. What's throwing you out on the dance floor?
Dynamite by Tyler Cruz.
Oh,
remember that one?
I like that one.
Early 2010s, late 2000s. Yeah.
Saying ayo.
That would take me back to probably like 4th grade. Exact song. Yep.
I love it.
That was huge. What about you?
I don't know if this is played at every wedding, but I feel like No Hands.
Okay, yeah. Understandable. Yeah.
No hands. Well, let me back this up and even say, like, in any social situation too, if I'm falling asleep, because listen, I'm getting older. I'm a 30-year-old dude, and
you're not
if I'm out and about with some friends, and I'm kind of like the day's catching up to me. But all of a sudden, you just hear the opening to No Hands. If you haven't heard, I'm not going to riff it off for FCC purposes, but that gets me rolling. Hunter, what about you?
I'm a big fan of Nelly's Little Bit.
A little bit. I don't know if I know that one.
Yeah, it's his newer one.
Oh, okay.
He kind of did like a country album, and it's really good.
Ooh, Country Nelly.
See, I've got a wedding coming up in early September, so I will report back to both of you and see if any of the hits played there.
I love doing this bit, too, where I created, I think it was on Snapchat or something. I made, it was this dark screen and this text that says, play Mo Bamba, and I always just try to get the DJ's attention. It's more of a bit versus actually trying to get Mo Bamba to be played. Some just play it off, some laugh. It is what it is.
You just wanted to see it.
Exactly. Yeah. We just wanted to see it. Well, the reason why we're talking all about that is because we learned that Jason's a big dancer himself. He's he's great at choreographed dances, apparently, Jason Wilde. But also gave us some nuggets, too. I was really intrigued that Bo Melton, how he could look, Lucas Van Ness, a lot of names on the defense. And on the other side, too, as we start the 11 o'clock hour here on the Saturday Scramble, we'll get into a little bit more of dissecting what Jason had to say, those takeaways, a lot of good nuggets from Jason Wilde. But once again, Pablo Iglesias, Corey Sparks, live from TPC, Wisconsin. This is the Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN. 11 o'clock hour is up next.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on August 12th.
Curio sends it deep to left, and there she goes!
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Pittsburgh Pirates.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness, third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Construction Business Group. Tune in August 12th at 6:40 on WISC TV in Madison, or check your local listings to watch the game.
Hi, I'm attorney David Gruber. After an accident, you need a trusted winning team on your side. For more than 30 years, Gruber Law Offices has helped Wisconsin families get the results they deserve. If you've been injured, call our firm today for a free consultation. We're available 24/7. Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
The sound of summer is on ESPN Madison.
The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Madison's home of the Brewers.
Mizorowski deals.
struck him out. A heater at 101.
Catch every Milwaukee Brewers game this season on 100.5 ESPN.
Back and watching it sail. It's a grand slam.
Brewers baseball on ESPN Madison is presented by Hard Rock Casino Rockford and brought to you by Starion Bank and Sinden Chevy in Mount Horeb.
Get ready to unleash the dragon at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Introducing the region's very first $1 million Dragon Link slot games. With jackpots soaring to $1 million, your chance to hit it big is here. Come experience the ultimate gaming adventure. Visit Hard Rock Casino Rockford today and play the $1 million Dragon Link slot games. Your legendary win awaits. Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Let's hard rock. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Hi, this is former Badger Pro Football Hall of Famer Joe Thomas. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison. Good Karma Brands radio station.
It's time to think outside the pocket on Saturday Scramble.
I think the Bucks signed their souls away or something.
I look at the Bucks as Augustus Gloop.
Probably really smart, actually, because I write such songs.
Yes! Clip that, Riley. Jason said that I'm smart.
I go to the gym to fight people.
That's awesome.
On 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Good morning for hour 2 of the Saturday Scramble live from TPC, Wisconsin. Pablo Iglesias with Corey Sparks, and man, oh man, the member guest. I'm glad that Jason Wilde pointed that out for us too. That coincidentally, I guess I'm the quote member of the Saturday Scramble, and Corey is the guest.
And then were the roles? I think they would have been reversed yesterday.
Yes,
so on the
I'm
Damn
glad.
Sports Show, I was the member, you were the guest, so now you've taken me to your home.
Love that. Love that. Our home series, our member guest, as we continue the Saturday Scramble here on 100.5 ESPN. You can also call us on the Carbless Talk and Text line. List is more 844-770-3776. Our poll question getting some booming results right now, too. I'm actually very surprised that from what we've seen, the poll question out here on the Saturday Scramble, what has been your favorite part of the Brewers season? Power of friendship with nearly 40% of the votes right now. So you can head to our ESPN Madison Twitter poll and talk to us. We've also asked, what do we think makes Wisconsin sexy? There's just a whole mess of different things that we are talking about. But Jason Wilde, as we had him at the end of the first hour, getting into the Packers-Jets preseason game, and even though, yes, it seems like that we are curious to see what the offensive starters are going to do, what is Jordan Love and the offensive unit going to do. Hopefully they don't go 3-and-out, so that's the only time, the only series that we see him. But I'll be honest, at least from what Jason has been was putting down when we talked to him, Corey, it feels like that the defense is going to be key, not just for this week, but as training camp continues, as things start to unfold in the preseason, before we really get here for week 1 against the Lions.
Yeah, defense in multiple facets, right? There's a reason you go out and get Nate Hobbs. No, he won't be playing, hoping to get him back by week 1 with the meniscus surgery with the tear there. But I think the physicality, the defense, that was this team's calling card last year. They got a lot more firepower on offense. They really invested in the offense first couple of days of the draft. But the defense is what got them into the playoffs. The defense is what had them down 1 score late in the game against the eventual world champion Philadelphia Eagles. The defense under Jeff Hafley made so many strides last year. And that's not to say they don't need to step up in certain spots. Lucas Van Ness, make or break here. Rashawn Gary, as Jason said, the second highest paid player on this team behind Jordan Love, needs to take a step forward. That dominance needs to happen week by week by week and not 1 to 2 weeks out of the month. So I think I'm super excited in terms of the first teamers that go out there to see the physicality, to see the dominance, to see the chip on the shoulder, and to see this team do something we haven't seen in a couple of years, take the division, host a playoff game. I'm tired of being the 7th seed and playing the best teams in the NFL from the get-go in the wild card round.
It is interesting to know that Bo Melton will more than likely be in the starter role too.
That's
because
huge.
You don't want to see Nate Hobbs, a guy that you spent some money on in the offseason, go down like that, and hopefully he could be back sooner rather than later. But it seems like that there's some optimism right now. But right now with Bo Melton, I love that Jason put it in the way that he did, was that, oh, wow, I'm not going to lie. So we are also out here at TPC Wisconsin watching the member guest, and there was a great shot from the fairway that landed on the green. It had a beautiful backspin on 18. So well done for that shot. Or no, this is 15 that we're in between 15 and 16 right now.
Gotcha.
But before I get too distracted and watch these next shots, Bo Melton not being a feel-good story, or not solely being a feel-good story, I should say, that he's stepping up to the plate. He's showing that he can legitimately be a good cornerback. But I also like Lucas Van Ness, because I don't know how often we're talking about him, because it feels like that Bo Melton from the defensive side, like he's been taking away all the headlines because of that switch, because it's so different, because it's so unique. But we have to look at Lucas Van Ness, a former first-rounder.
Yeah.
And how he has not met up to those expectations yet. I mean, is this going to be the year where he finally breaks out? Is this going to be, how many eyes are really going to be on Lucas Van Ness? Because, yes, we want to see Kenny Clark go big. We want to see Rashawn Gary also explode. But I think there's just as much pressure on Lucas Van Ness as well. I think Jason's onto something there.
I think stemming back to our Andrew Vaughn conversation in the first hour, first-round pick, you knew it was in there. It was just a matter of unlocking it. We know it's in there with Lucas Van Ness. You see the offseason workouts. The guy is ripped. He's huge. He's extremely strong. It's just a matter of channeling that and becoming a dominant pass rusher, and that's one of the elements of this defense a lot of people look at going into this year. Corner depth, two sides of the coin. Jason brought up with Bo Melton. Great that he's getting first-team reps, but also Bo Melton's getting first-team reps. He just learned the cornerback position not too long ago. But the other element was the pass rush. You have to be disruptive. Quarterbacks can't sit back there for 5-6 seconds in a clean pocket. You want to be disruptive. I took a lot from the Bo Melton conversation as well. I think something to remember as well, don't look out for number 80 there tonight. It's 16. He made the number switch. So when you see 16 make a big play, hopefully a pass deflection here or there, some really good tight coverage, it's Bo Melton. And the fact that he said Bo may even be progressing better than his own expectations, I think says a lot. I hope he makes the 53-man. And from the reports we're getting from Jason early on, obviously the preseason games we're going to see here are really going to be held under a microscope. I like his odds early on.
844-770-3776, the Carbless Talking text line. List is more. What excites you the most as the Packers get ready for the Jets tonight at Lambeau Field? A good game ahead of us. What he called it? The Aaron Rodgers Bowl.
Yeah, the Aaron Rodgers Alumni Bowl.
The Aaron Rodgers. There we go. What excites you the most about the Aaron Rodgers Alumni Bowl?
I think we can call it that.
Yeah, I think that'll be good. So the Aaron Rodgers Alumni Bowl kicking off at Lambeau Field tonight. I think it's also. You do want to see the offense, though, not go 3 and out. I don't know. Yeah. Let me ask you this. Would you be disappointed if the Packers were to go 3 and out and that's the only series? I could understand why that's the only series you put your offense out, but if they're 1 and done and they go 3 and out, what I'll be honest. Does that disappoint you? Where do you stand, Corey?
Very, very much so. We had pretty much the perfect scenario. We were talking about it with Jason yesterday as well, too, on the Dam Sports Show, weekdays from 4 to 5 on ESPN Beaver Dam, and that the preseason opener, it was a couple of plays. Jordan Love had a bomb pass, and they got out. That's when you get a 1 and done. We saw everything we needed to see. The offense is firing on all cylinders. I feel much more confident about where we're going to be come week 1 than I did when we stepped into the stadium today. If they go 3 and out, I really, really hope that the coaching staff and Matt LaFleur goes, I got to see more, guys. I need good tape, too. I don't want to channel in on these 3 plays and go, that was it. You do have to walk the tightrope, though. There is a risk, just like there's a risk with not playing guys in the preseason and they're not warmed up going into the regular season. There is also a risk in playing your starters for too long in a game that, in the grand scheme of things, in the win-loss column, doesn't matter. So I would be disappointed, but to your point, Pablo, there'd be a slight part of me that goes, you can't risk the guy's health. At some point, you just punt and move on to week 2.
You got to punt and move on to week 2. I want to talk a little bit more about the offense as well here with this Packers unit, but maybe we'll save this for the other side of this and what this, how exciting it's going to be. Again, we probably won't see a lot of Josh Jacobs. Feels like that Matthew Golden's poised for something too. We'll take a quick breather here on the Saturday Scramble and talk more about the offense as the Packers get ready for the Aaron Rodgers Alumni Bowl at Lambeau Field. Pablo Iglesias, Corey Sparks. This is the Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN.
Stay tuned. Saturday Scramble continues after this on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
The GRB Academy is baseball for the serious player. GRB Academy wants to be part of your plan to reach your potential. Utilize GRB Academy's 52,000 square foot facility, 14 batting cages, and 6,000 square foot weight room. Personal lessons at the GRB Baseball Academy are available year-round. With over 300 college players and over 150 Division I players, GRB has consistently led the way in the Midwest for college recruitment and player development. Visit their website, grbacademy.com, for more information. That's grbacademy.com. GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player.
There's no safer place to feel dumb than Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe.
You know what they say, like, you should never be the smartest person in the room. I'm amazing at that. I'm never the smartest person in the room.
I find it hard to find. Anyone would look at you and go, yeah, that guy's got it in this room.
Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe. Live on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Also available on the ESPN Wisconsin app and wherever you get your podcasts.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't friendly. The trash talk, next level. And the stakes, oh, those are crystal clear. Cheers! With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer.
Want to move better, play faster, and compete at a higher level? Train where Wisconsin's top athletes go. Total Athlete Performance. From middle school phenoms to the pros, TAP is Madison's #1 destination for speed, power, and athleticism. Their proven systems, expert coaches, and cutting-edge equipment help you dominate your sport. Can't make it in? Train anywhere with the TAP mobile app. Spots are filling fast, so don't wait. Visit tapwisconsin.com to schedule your free athletic assessment today.
The Bucky Badger Student Mascot Fund was created to support the amazing student athletes who bring the best mascot in the world to life. Hey, my name is Stacy Bruner. I was Bucky Badger from 2010 to 2014. My most memorable sports moment was running out the flag at the 2013 Rose Bowl versus Stanford. Your donation will help fund new scholarships to ensure that the rich tradition of Bucky lives on. Learn more at supportbucky.org. That's supportbucky.org.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
You're listening to Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Listen to this track.
Girl, the way you moving, got me in a trance. DJ turn me up, ladies get so jammed. I'ma sip Moscato, you gon' lose them fans.
I'm not gonna lie, my heart just stopped. This is the Saturday Scramble. Pablo Iglesias, Corey Sparks on 100.5 ESPN on TPC Wisconsin. I'll tell you, that song got me fired up. I did not expect that to be queued up. Glad Hunter found the family-friendly version.
I know how to find the family-friendly version of songs.
The Kids Bop version of No Hands by Waka Flocka Flame.
Did not know there was one.
This is, well, we'll find out.
It took me a while.
I'm glad. Thank you for your service, Hunter Vaughn, over at the Everlight Solar Studio. Pablo Iglesias, Corey Sparks here at TPC Wisconsin, the member guest event going on here at the beautiful golf course. And we are talking about what's happening later tonight, too, the Aaron Rodgers Alumni Bowl. I think we got to coin that term at some point. The Packers and Jets playing preseason football kicking off. It's crazy to believe that we're already getting going, too, for the NFL season in 2025. But we are moving to the offensive side and what that looks like. It doesn't necessarily feel like there's a lot of worry, more so like in terms of depth, because let's be honest, we had one wide receiver that ended up switching over to cornerback because the room was so deep. So there's no concern in terms of how many weapons this offense is going to have, but more so, Corey and I, we were talking about this during the break, is Jordan Love and his leadership, what that looks like. What are you hoping for this season with Jordan Love?
Yeah, and Jason Wilde's written it on Channel 3000 a couple times over the offseason as well. It's the vocal leadership. So, I'm not worried about the quarterback rating. I'm not worried about the touchdown to interception ratio, the passing yards. None of that. I'm worried about when the camera crew for whoever is broadcasting the different games for the Packers, depending on what week you're tuning in this year, goes on the sidelines after the first series or after a 3-and-out. I am looking for Jordan Love to grab the iPad, not rip into guys, but go over to his wide receivers, go over to his offensive linemen, go over to his tight ends, his running backs, his teammates on offense, and to break things down with them. The vocal leadership is something that this team is looking to get from Jordan Love in, yes, year 3 as a starter, but year 6 in the NFL. He's starting to get that term veteran associated with him just because of how many years he has in the National Football League. And I think the vocal leadership is super important when, to your point, Pablo, they have a lot of depth in the wide receiving core, but they're also really young. Outside of Mecole Hardman, who they just got a few months ago, nobody in this wide receiving room is over the age of 26. Jordan Love's 26. If he's in the room with his wide receiving room...
It's crazy to think about that.
He's the old guy. Yeah.
Yeah. That is crazy to think that he's 26. And yesterday, Freddie Coleman, which has also been hilarious, too, with the back and forth between unsportsmanlike Jim Molly, Jim Rutledge being a great teammate and pretty much taking all the flack for his take that he had a few weeks ago. Or really, actually, this was only a week. It feels like it's been a few weeks.
It feels like it's been a long week.
It's been a long, long week for Jim. But Freddie Coleman joining Jim Molly yesterday talking about breaking down every single quarterback because, hey, the way that the NFC North is built out, everybody's talking about, are the Packers actually built to compete in an more competitive NFC North? Is this going to be a big year with Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams teaming up? What's J.J. McCarthy going to do? Here's Freddie Coleman on Jim Molly in terms of where he believes Jordan Love stands.
In 3 years, who do you think will end up being that best quarterback in the North?
I think it's going to be Jordan Love. I'm not just saying that because I'm on your radio show, guys, but I just think that his ceiling and his ability, that if he keeps making those layups, we know he can go for the Big Bang Theory. That not only works for Sheldon Cooper, but it works for Jordan Love at times, hitting those deep shots down the field. But I think he's going to get better as a quarterback if you can make those layups. On 3rd and 5, you hit that pass in the flat. 3rd and 6, you hit that quick slant on the inside. It can't just be about the big playability, because the more you keep hunting for those plays and they're not going to be there, then those basics are really going to come back to haunt you if you don't nail that down. If he starts making those kind of throws consistently and then you hit on those big shots, then his ceiling to me is going to be better potentially than Caleb Williams, even though he has that quote-unquote generational kind of talent ability. J.J. McCarthy fits what Minnesota is going to do, but he doesn't have the arm strength, in my opinion, that Jordan Love has. And Jared Goff, and you're right, he's been around for more than a minute, but he's not even 30 years of age yet. But how many bites at the apple is he going to get to try to be a championship quarterback? I think in 3 years, because of Jordan Love and his ability, that what he learned from Aaron Rodgers being the understudy and keep getting better and reducing those turnovers and those mistakes, he could be at the top of the division in the NFC North.
There's a word that stuck out to me that Freddie used was consistent. Mm-hmm. And consistency, I think, is definitely going to be the key for Aaron Rodgers. Well, him too.
Yeah, good luck, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I'd say there are a lot more things that Aaron Rodgers needs to be focusing on, but consistency for Jordan Love, I think, is so key because, yes, we've seen the big play potential. We've seen that he is not afraid to chuck it up, that's for sure. But it has been pointed out that can Jordan Love perform at a more consistent level as a quarterback? How can he truly be the quarterback that you win because of, not that you win with, or how can he be the X factor? How can he always be the guy? Because again, we've seen that in flashes, but we haven't seen that consistently. And let's be honest, if you're paying this guy $56 million a year, you better be the guy.
You're not paying a game manager.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think from there, I love the word consistency. I get where Freddie's coming from because it seems like clearly out of all the quarterbacks, and yes, Jared Goff's been around the longest, but there seems like there's something where I can't say that Jordan Love is completely polished yet, but he has the most potential to be the flashiest, most polished quarterback, if that makes sense, in the NFC North.
Yeah, and he put together 2 amazing second half of the seasons in his, we'll call it his rookie year. It really wasn't, but his first year as a starter and his second year as a starter. I look at last year, Pablo, the first 8 games in a row, he was letting loose. He was throwing the ball over 30 times consistently. But you know what else he was doing? He was turning the ball over. He had at least 1 pick every single game for the first 8 games. Last 7 games of the year, what do we do but see no interceptions from Jordan Love? You need to see that 17-game stretch. You need to see him stay healthy. I know he was kind of fighting the knee issue and the leg issue and pivoting off from the back foot to the front foot. But you need to see the full season from Jordan Love. I feel like he has the widest range just from what we've seen. First few weeks, that wasn't pretty. The pick against the Rams in his own end zone, I think it was. That's not pretty. But then you see him go and play turnover-free football the last few weeks of the season, and you see that it's there.
And from what I've noticed, too, and talked to a few teammates about this, too, last season more in particular, is when Jordan Love is in a game-winning drive situation, it's actually been closer to a Favre-esque type of move versus Aaron Rodgers, because as polished and fun of Aaron Rodgers, like as fun of a quarterback as he was, I don't know if, like, Aaron Rodgers, if he has a bad game, he's having a bad game. He's not going to, necessarily truly rise up. He has had those moments where he's come back and beaten, words are, I'm just trying to get these words out right now, is just try to fuel a comeback. But I think Brett Favre, no matter what, if I'm looking at the quarterbacks of the past and Packers past, it seems like that Jordan Love, even if he's had a bad game, first bad 3 quarters, he can really rally the guys. Whereas Aaron Rodgers, it's he's got to stay like some type of consistent level. That's how he was as a Packers quarterback in my eyes, and that's just where I see like Jordan Love, like if he can really lock in no matter what, like guys can rally around him. Guys can rally, and again, that's the big thing where it's like, can Jordan Love be the quarterback that the Packers win because of this season? I want to see more of that consistently.
I think he's got the guts, too, to your point. Like, if you're going to compare him to the past 2 quarterbacks, Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, I think we see the little wrist flick and we go, okay, there's the Rodgers.
Right? It's just...
Yep, so some of the intangibles there, being in the same quarterback room for the first 3 years of his career. But in terms of Favre, I don't want to call it recklessness, but if he has 2 or 3 picks in the game,
it honestly does feel reckless.
There are reckless moments where there's 2 or 3 picks in the game, but he is not as scared as maybe Rodgers would have been to heave it down the field again. I understand that the number 1 priority here is getting the victory. If I happen to throw my 3rd pick in the process trying to get the victory, woe is me, I guess.
Yeah, it's I do. Where do you believe that? Do you agree, too, with what Freddie Coleman had to say, like, in terms of where Jordan Love stands in this NFC North? Like, do you believe that Jordan Love will be the best quarterback in this division 3 years from now?
I think so. I think Jared Goff is putting up better numbers right now, but Jared Goff is what he is. He's nearing the age of 30, so he's in his prime now. I don't think anyone out there is going to make the argument that Jared Goff is going to continue to get better and better and better. Caleb Williams, there's a lot of different elements kind of going on around him right now. I'm not ready to make a strong claim on him under a new coach. They've played roulette with the offensive coordinator position. I'm curious to see how that goes. Jordan Love, I mean, if we want to compare it to Jared Goff, doesn't have the weapons that Jared Goff has. That was the whole investment of this past year's draft is, let's go get Matthew Golden. We're not done yet. Let's go get Savion Williams. We'll see what happens with Mecole Hardman. He's had a good start to camp for the most part. Whereas Jared Goff's got Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's got Jamison Williams. He has Sam Laporta. He has all these different established weapons. Jordan Love has to be the leader of these young men, who he's, for the most part, older than, talking about his wide receiving core here, and he has to elevate them. So if we did the put these quarterbacks in a vacuum argument, who is going to be the best in the NFC North, Jordan Love has a really strong case.
Do you feel like that there's something missing, or not missing rather? Let me backtrack this and ask you, who do you think poses the biggest threat? Because you pointed out, obviously the Lions are going to be the Lions. Yep. The Bears on paper could make a splash, but there's still a lot of question marks. Like, is Ben Johnson going to be the head coach that he's been primed to be? The offensive mastermind for the Detroit Lions. Like, what is Minnesota going to do? Who do you think, out of the NFC North, who poses the biggest threat to the Green Bay Packers?
Short term, the Detroit Lions, in terms of this quarterback discussion we're having. Long term, I think Caleb has a lot of talent. It's truly just a matter of getting the right wide receiving core with him, protecting him. He got pressured so much. You've noticed I haven't brought up J.J. McCarthy yet. I cannot form an opinion on him. We know nothing. We know absolutely nothing.
Now.
So maybe that's supposed to scare me. They were a really solid football team last year, and we saw the resurgence of Sam Darnold, who made a bag and is now in Seattle. But I think short term, the answer is the Detroit Lions.
Arm strength seemed like it was always an issue, not just because Freddie Coleman even brought that up too. Was arm strength was an issue. It was all the way down to Michigan too. Like that, they weren't going for deep balls. I mean, he had a heck of a
run-heavy offense.
It was a run-heavy offense. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talking text line list is more. We want to talk to you and know, how are you feeling with Jordan Love going into this season? What are your expectations? What are you hoping for him? And honestly, who else poses a big threat in the NFC North this upcoming season too? But yeah, it's just kind of it makes you think, like, what's, it's like, where is this NFC North going to go? It does kind of feel like it's wide open, but the Packers, again, with the fact that they went 1-5, do we feel like that the Packers could turn it around? They were in close games for the most part against the divisional opponents, but I feel like that even though we talk about Super Bowl or bust, that this is going to be a big season for the Packers, you got to win the division games too.
Yeah, that's why they've been the 7th seed, right?
Yes.
100%. I think it's perfect that they start the season against the Lions, because 1-5 has just been hanging over that team's head. And Jim Rutledge just brought it up. They were a fingertip away from being 0-6. I know he likes to say that. So
they were certainly a fingertip away. They were certainly.
And I don't know if 4-2 or 5-1 is needed, but at least break even. Being third in your own division, it's super interesting tonight, Pablo. I know it's a preseason game, but the Packers and Jets, something they have in common outside of Aaron Rodgers?
What's that?
They're both third in their division last year. Like, that's kind of wild to think about. The Packers, in spite of the bad division record, did amazing outside of being 1-5 in the NFC North. The Jets at 5-12 were third in the AFC East. You have to win your division games to be taken seriously in the NFL.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the Packers do as preseason kicks off. Another season amongst us, too. Wisconsin Badgers kicking off in just a few weeks, too, on a Thursday night. In just less than 3 weeks from now, they're also hosting practice at Platteville tonight for open fans, so head on out there if you don't have any Saturday night plans. But P. Vegas. See, everything – no, I'm not on board with this. Everything can't be blank Vegas. Like, there's a Naperville.
You got to embrace your own party scene.
Well, we're both from Illinois, Chicago, Chicagoland area, and Naperville too calls it Naper Vegas. That's what one of my friends says. I'm like, no,
it's not just a Wisconsin problem.
Like, we're not doing this. Not everything needs to have Vegas slapped onto it. Like, it doesn't make it sexier, or I don't know. Well, that's also what we want to know too. What else makes Wisconsin sexy as we continue here? Pablo Iglesias. Corey Sparks here. When we come back, I want to talk more about Wisconsin Badger football. An interesting thing that I think Badger fans should probably hear. I'm not saying it's a get out of jail for free card, but I'm not saying that it's not either. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about season expectations and a couple guys that are really exciting us too. This is the Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN.
Stay tuned. Saturday Scramble continues after this on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Hey, this is Jeff Levering with the Brewers Radio Network, and I've got a question for you. Is your home ready to shine this season? Whether it's roofing, siding, or windows, Ridgetop Exteriors is the name you can trust. For over 20 years, Ridgetop Exteriors has been Wisconsin's favorite for roofing, and they bring that same expertise to siding and windows. Imagine vibrant, low-maintenance siding and energy-efficient windows that brighten your home while cutting energy costs. Ridgetop Exteriors holds all expert-level installation credentials with the leading manufacturers, including Pella, James Hardy Fiber Cement Siding, and LP Smart Side Engineered Wood Siding. With thousands of 5-star reviews and a commitment to excellence, they're the clear choice for home improvement needs. Plus, consultations and estimates are always free, so there's no reason to wait. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com to schedule your free consultation. Ridgetop Exteriors, putting customers first every time.
Ridgetop Exteriors is the place for you.
Listen to Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin on 100.5 ESPN.
Jason, how many people on earth would you share a pickle with?
Do we have to eat it like Lady and the Tramp?
You do whatever you want with it.
You share a pickle with Fickle?
So, no, pickle with Fickle.
Wilde and Tausch, weekdays 9 to noon on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
Bringing summer gatherings to the next level is just another thing we do at Celebrations Entertainment. Hi, it's Jeffrey. With rental items like sound equipment, photo booths, and even yard games, you can make your event the party that everyone talks about. Any event like graduation parties, block parties, or even a backyard barbecue can be elevated with fun, interactive items to make everyone ask, hey, how'd you pull this off? Just tell them celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Madison's home of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Lots up top to Giannis. Whoa, what a play!
Wisconsin Badgers volleyball.
Underneath it, bump set, left side, powers it down. What a rally! And Wisconsin comes out on top.
And now, the Milwaukee Brewers.
Fly ball to center. It is way back, and it is gone.
This is Madison's new home of the Milwaukee Brewers. 100.5 ESPN.
Grassland Butter is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin. Grassland is family owned and has been crafting butter for 5 generations. That's why at Grassland Butter, you're more than just an employee, you're family. The Wietrich family believes in supporting each other, growing together, and building a workplace where everyone feels valued. Your voice matters at Grassland Dairy. Your success is our success. Join a team where culture isn't just a buzzword, it's how we live every day. Check us out online at grassland.com. That's grassland.com.
This update is sponsored by UW Credit Union. For every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you. Play Brewers Baseball Bingo presented by U.S. Cellular for the chance to win prizes all season long. Download the MLB Ballpark app from the App Store or Google Play to get in on the action. Join UW Credit Union at uwcu.org. Insured by NCUA.
You're listening to Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
She says, take me to the country, show me where you're from. I said, shawty, you gon' love me, and we gon' have some fun. I break out my big wheel, and you can climb on up, girl.
Saturday Scramble is back here live at TPC Wisconsin. Pablo Iglesias, Corey Sparks. We are jumping onto the ESPN Madison YouTube comments. What makes Wisconsin sexy? Well, we have a response from Charles Anderson saying that Sheboygan is the Malibu of the Midwest. I have only been out to Sheboygan a few times. Is that true? Who can attest this for me?
So my buddy Joe, who I worked with for the
Joe, our expert now of Sheboygan, all things Sheboygan,
the Oshkosh newspaper. When I was in college a few years ago, he works for WRN now, and he did a story out in Sheboygan, and I guess surfing is like huge there. So maybe that's where the Malibu comparison's coming from?
Well, Sheboygan, that's where Whistling Straits is, right? Or right around there?
I think, near there.
Yeah.
Kohler is Whistling Straits. But, yeah, the waves on Lake Michigan are big enough that you can surf on them.
Okay. That's pretty legit. Well, also happening in the ESPN Madison YouTube channel chat, we are getting a bunch of NFL stream links. Please don't click on those. Unless you really want to take your computer to...
If you want to destroy your computer,
yes. If you want to destroy your computer, please go ahead and click on
some
that.
No
My
before
goodness.
episodes.
It's just right. That's some inside information there of our security training too. We've worked our way up to this.
We're well conditioned. I'm not clicking on that.
I'm just so overwhelmed by all of the emojis.
There's
right
a lot.
now. There are a lot. They really want people to click on this. Anyway, Pablo Iglesias, Corey Sparks here. This is the Saturday Scramble live for TPC Wisconsin. The member guest going on here. And the Packers are kicking off tonight for preseason football. The Badgers getting closer and closer to kickoff, too, at Camp Randall Stadium. Tonight they're hosting an open practice at Platteville, P. Vegas, before they come back to Madison. I was actually at practice, too, on Thursday. And, guys, I'm not going to lie. I think this might be a very exciting season for the Wisconsin Badgers and the running back room. So it's I got to really get my first look at what the Jeff Grimes offense looks like.
A reliable, violent offense.
That's it. Reliable and violent.
RVO, baby.
And you know what I really love, what makes them reliable and violent is this running game. You have Cade Giacomelli, you have Dylan Jones, you have Darian Dupree. But I got to say, and Corey, we talked about this yesterday, Dylan Jones right now feels like the guy that I want to look after or want people to keep their eyes on because he's the second-year running back. He's a young kid, but not only is it just based off of his play and what I've seen in practice, he's busted out what honestly looked like some 50, 60, even 70-yard runs. But Dylan Jones, I think just you can tell that there's a confidence that's there. You can tell that he is really feeling in his own element. He's learning as he's going, and he's growing, man. And he's a big dude too.
Yeah,
he's and you can just tell that he's having fun with this whole process. So I'm really excited for Dylan Jones, and I'm excited too for this running back room because yes, I covered Braylon Allen, and it's fun to know that he's in the league and watch him do what he's doing now. But man, it just looking at how deep this running back room actually is from a talent standpoint. I don't think we've seen this. We haven't seen a running back room like this in a while.
Well, and I think that's the benefit of you being able to go out there and be at camp in P. Vegas. Is yes, you're seeing the breakout runs.
We're not going to let this one go our way.
But you brought up his body language, like the calm, cool, and collected manner. He's confident. He exudes confidence. He trusts his plan. He trusts his off-season training program. And this is something we brought up before as well, but the smiling, the camaraderie, the fact that this team just seems a little more loose, not as tense as maybe they have been in years past.
Yeah.
They have a behemoth of a schedule in front of them. This is not the Big Ten West anymore. Everyone knows the expectations of years past and that this year a 7-8 win season would be very strong. Don't tell these guys that. They seem so excited to be out there, to play with each other, and to develop and grow under Luke Fickell again this year.
Yeah, and it was unfortunate how the first 2 years of the air raid offense just didn't pan out, but it is what it is. I'm curious to know like how exactly Jeff Grimes is going to, and it feels like it too. On Media Day, I loved it. Jeff Grimes obviously saying the right things. He's saying the straightforward things of like what this offense is and how it's going to grow. You have that mantra. It kind of feels like a fraternity creed. That's what I loved. I wish I could recite it as well as Billy Edwards and Jake Renfro, how they were able to riff it off like that quickly. But I think it just feels like that Jeff Grimes also brings this loose energy too. He was Cade Giacomelli was talking to reporters and he jumped in, and you could actually see this on our ESPN Madison Instagram, was that Jeff Grimes goes up and asks like about Cade Giacomelli's facial hair, and apparently that's also a thing too, is that they're doing training camp or fall camp facial hair, and Jeff Grimes wants everybody to have a sweet mustache, sweet facial hair going into this. So it just feels like that you said too. There's a loose energy, there's a good bond. And it finally feels like now that Luke Fickell's entering his third year, he's got good control of what this team's culture is. Because that's, heck, even with Paul Chryst, and when Paul Chryst was fired and then Jim Leonard comes in as the interim, the big question is, what the heck is this team's identity?
Yeah.
What are they? We wanted to see how the air raid experiment went, and it didn't come to fruition. And Joe Thomas, too, he was on Wilde and Tausch earlier in the summer, too, and he has this to say of, like, what exactly, like, what makes Wisconsin, and I have to agree with him on this.
If you look back throughout history, going back to when Barry got here, it seems like our best teams are the teams that don't have a high ranking going into the season, don't have really high expectations, because the Badger football program has always been built on the backs of walk-ons, Wisconsin natives, guys that are hardworking, they're tough, they're resilient, they're willing to do the things that the other teams and people are not able to do, and they always come together as a team because they're unselfish. And I see this team in a very same perspective, in the very same place as we were in 2006, because you are coming off of a tough year you are coming off of high expectations when they brought Fickle in here, right? People forget very quickly in sports, which is good and bad, but they forget that like he was the top name as a head coaching candidate potentially for a while there, and everybody thought maybe he was going to take over Ohio State. And Chris McIntosh goes in there, and they have this great relationship right off the bat from their time playing in the Big Ten, and we get Fickle, and everybody's all excited about what he's going to bring and how he's going to be able to recruit more top flight talent. And I think the expectations are not there anymore, and the team is feeling like, hey, we still feel like we can be somebody. We can do this. And I think that's a really good position for Wisconsin football because it fits the culture here, who we are as Wisconsin people, always pulling ourselves up by our bootstraps. Nobody's given us a chance, but we've always found a way. And I think the makeup of the team feels a lot more like those teams with guys that just want to work. They just want to play together. They just want to grind, and they feel like there's a belief in their coaching staff and each other. If you look back.
Yeah, it feels like that the pressure has been relieved. Obviously, you still have to go out and play ball. Pablo Iglesias, Corey Sparks here, too. This is the Saturday Scramble as we talk about Wisconsin football and what those expectations are. I love the fact, too, at the start of that Joe Thomas had pointed out, Badger great, that we know that this is a tough schedule. Yeah. Pro Football Focus has Wisconsin as they have the toughest schedule out of anyone in Division I football right now. Yes. But it feels like right now that fans, based off of how the last couple of years have gone under Luke Fickell, they're already writing it off.
Yeah.
And I've heard that rhetoric. I've heard from Joe Thomas. Dario Gumbawali, who was on Jim Matt and Molly earlier in the summer too, said, that's honestly what they fed off of when they beat LSU in that 2016 season. Mm-hmm. And like those are the things where it's like, you know what? Hey, write us off. That's bulletin board material. And it feels like that this team, in the best way, is using bulletin board material to their advantage. Again, I don't know exactly what week one's going to look like, but I've said before, I want them to play bully ball in the first 2 weeks. I don't want to squeak out these first 2 weeks. I don't want them to squeak out these wins. I want them to look dominant. I want them to look like they are hungry, that they got a chip on their shoulder, that they want to go head hunting.
Yeah, I'm with you there. And the first part of what Joe Thomas said was great in that he's basically encouraging people to doubt them. Like, Wisconsin loves it when they're under the radar because they know they're capable of more than they're getting credit for. There's a reason a lot of people out there didn't think that Wisconsin would land Coach Fickell. They're like, no, he's going to go to Ohio State. He's going to go chase these national championships, be nationally ranked every year. But it's that encouragement of, he just said there's a lot of in-state recruits. It's pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Doubt us. Please doubt us. And I think that is the reason they're due for a marquee win this year. One, Pablo, they have so many chances to get it.
Absolutely.
Toughest schedule in college football, one of these has to fall. But two, it's the bulletin board material you just brought up. It's not people across the country going, all these polls saying, I think Wisconsin pulls it off this week. No, they're going to win 5 games. 5.5 is their line right now. It's disrespectful.
It feels so disrespectful, exactly. And I want to look here, too, at the top 25 because you've got Ohio State. That's one already. And then you've got Alabama at number 8 based off the coaches poll. Illinois, Michigan, Indiana, and that rounds it out. So you have 5 teams right now, at least based off of how I counted that off. 5 teams.
Should be 6 teams.
Or 6.
Oh,
I know I'm missing one. Yes, Oregon.
Yep.
I knew I was missing one. So 6 teams in the coaches poll. But it's I say this on and on. I've said this on the Jump Around, which you can hear too on our ESPN Madison YouTube channel, also streaming Thursdays at 12:30 with myself and Jim Rutledge. I just feel like that this has to be the year where Wisconsin has that marquee win because you look at how abysmal of that offense was last season, and yet they were in that USC game, and yet they were in that Oregon game, and they were in those Penn State games. Unfortunately, they didn't pull it out, but I just still feel like, how can you write off this team and say that they're going to go 0 for 6? Mm-hmm. I don't know if I stand with Riley Yauk, too, who's usually in with us, too, on the Saturday Scramble, also part of the Jump Around. He's calling the Alabama upset. I don't know how I feel about that.
He's going to be there for that one, isn't he?
But yeah. I feel like let's go with this though, guys. Out of any of these 6 matchups, which one do you think has the highest chance of the teams that are in the top 25 coaches poll? So we've got Ohio State at 2, we've got Oregon at 7, we've got Alabama at 8, Illinois 12, Michigan 14, and Indiana at 19. I'm calling Michigan. I think Michigan week 5?
Uh-huh.
Week 5 for Wisconsin. I think there's a shot there.
I think I'd go Indiana because they were kind of riding off the nobody respected us, Kurt Signetti, chip on the shoulder. And now they got the national ranking going into the preseason.
Mm-hmm.
I think Wisconsin sneaks up on them.
Wisconsin sneaks up on them. Hunter Vaughn over the Everlight Solar Studio, too. I know you've gone through quite the few seasons as the producer of ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. Out of those 6 matchups, if I were to ask you to pick one, which one do you think Wisconsin is going to pull off?
I think they pull off 2. I think they beat
Really?
Indiana and Illinois.
Indiana and Illinois.
Because I think the thing that people forget about the games last year, like you talked about how they were in those games, is one, they had their backup quarterback for those games.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They didn't have their starter all year the last 2 seasons that Luke Fickell has been here. So I think that alone, if Billy Edwards Jr. is healthy, they're a much better team than what they are. And I think if they had their starter the previous 2 seasons the whole year, they win 2 more games each season.
There's
so
something
that there, but then the fact that this new offense will emphasize running the ball, the games that they were in, I think they win because they wear out that defense differently than the way they were trying to do it with the air raid, and that alone wins them a couple more games too, and everything is completely different. Luke Fickell made a bad hire at OC. He's corrected it now, and I think this team is going to look a lot better than what they had been in the past. I think that they're a 6-7 win team this year, and people need to understand that alone, I think, puts them in a spot of being an incredibly different team going forward.
I can feel that vindication. Hunter, if there's one thing, what fires you up the most about this Badger season?
It is the idea of being a violent offense again. I think that this team is going to be way better than what anybody else expects. I loved Luke Fickell talked about it in the Big Ten media days where he said that this year they have 7 D linemen over 300 pounds. They had 2 last year. Their DNs now and their edge rushers are going to average about 280 pounds. They are huge up front on defense now in a way that they hadn't been the last couple of years. I think that is going to be huge for this team defensively, and as much as I can't stand Mike Tressel's defense, I do think it will be better this year.
Excited for that, too. And Mike Tressel even pointed out, too, that they needed to stop the run a lot more. So when you got guys that are about right around 300 pounds on the defensive end, I think that's going to help the cause here. So exciting stuff. And, if you're looking for some Saturday night plans, Wisconsin holding an open practice out in P. Vegas tonight as they wrap up the first 2 weeks of fall camp out there. So I think that'll be exciting. So I would say, hey, go out, make the trip, and it's going to be fun to see what this team is going to look like as we get closer and closer to kickoff. We got to wrap things up here on the Saturday Scramble, though, as we talk more Badgers and just really recap a whole mess of things here at TPC Wisconsin. Pablo Iglesias, Corey Sparks here. This is the Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN.
Stay tuned. Saturday Scramble continues after this on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
This update sponsored by UW Credit Union. For every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you. Every Sunday home game, 9 lucky kids ages 6 to 13 will appear on the field during the national anthem. Enter a child for their chance to have their major league moment today by visiting your local participating PNC Bank. Join UW Credit Union at uwcu.org, insured by NCUA.
Bikers need protection, not just from other drivers, but unfortunately from insurance companies too. If you've been injured in a motorcycle crash, call Gruber Law Offices today. Bikers are often blamed for causing the accident because the insurance companies simply don't want to pay. At Gruber Law Offices, we've been fighting for injured bikers and their families for more than 30 years. Trust us to fight for what you deserve. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Summer is here, and your taste buds deserve the best. Carbless is perfect for the pool, the lake, or hanging out by the fire. Full of flavor with 0 sugars, only 100 calories, and made with premium spirits. Don't just settle for something overly carbonated and those flavorless seltzers. Carbless has full flavor with every sip, not just a hint. So when you're ready to take a drink and ready to chill, Carbless is clean, crisp, and won't leave you feeling bloated. Find your bliss today at drinkcarbless.com.
There's lots to see and do at the Dodge County Fair. Fun for me and you.
There's good times in the air. Get ready for Dodge County's biggest event this summer, the Dodge County Fair, happening August 13th through the 17th. 5 days of non-stop action with Badger State tractor pulls, demo derbies, and live music from Diamond Rio, Corey Kent, and 38 Special, all on the grandstand stage. Bring the family for pig, duck, and goat races, Nick's Kids Show, the Ready Go Dog Show, incredible exhibits, mouth-watering fair food, and much more. Grab season tickets now, just $35. Available at the fair office, Piggly Wiggly in Beaver Dam and Juneau, the market at Beaver Dam, Leroy Meats, most Dodge County banks, or online at DodgeCountyFairgrounds.com. Don't miss the fun, the Dodge County Fair, August 13th through the 17th.
Come on, everyone, to the Dodge County Fair.
Gear up for Quick Trip's Mountain Dew Quick Climb. Now through August 17th. Play free daily in the Quick Rewards app and earn bonus plays with every eligible purchase. Grab one with hot food. That's 2 bonus plays. Each week, the cash prize climbs by $5,000, all the way to a $250,000 grand prize. So open the app and get climbing. Your summer, your climb, your win. No purchase necessary. Open to U.S. residents residing in Illinois, Iowa, Minnesota, Michigan, South Dakota, North Dakota, or Wisconsin. Ends August 17th. Bonus plays require qualifying purchase. See full rules at quicktrip.com/sweepstakes.
You're listening to Saturday Scramble on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
I throw my hands up in the air sometimes, saying, ayo, gotta let go. I wanna celebrate and live my life, saying, ayo, baby, let's go. 'Cause we gon' rock this club, we gon' go all night, we gon' light it up like it's dynamite. 'Cause I told you once, now I told you twice, we gon' light it up like it's dynamite. I came to move, 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 move. Get out the way of me and my crew. I'm in the club, so I'm gonna do just what the folk came here to do. Yeah, 'cause it goes on and on and on. And it goes on and on and on. Yeah, I throw my hands up in the air sometimes, saying, ayo, gotta let go. I wanna celebrate and live my life, saying, ayo, baby, let's go. 'Cause we gon' rock this club, we gon' go all night, we gon' light it up like it's dynamite. 'Cause I told you once, now I told you twice, we gon' light it up like it's dynamite. I'm gonna take it all, I'm gonna be the last one standing, higher overall, I'm gonna be the last one landing. 'Cause I believe it, and I just want it all, I just want it all. I'm gonna put my hands in the air, hands in the air, put your hands in the air.
This is the Saturday Scramble live from TPC, Wisconsin. Thanks to Corey Sparks for jumping in, Hunter Vaughn as well over the Everlight Solar Studio. We're back next week, too. Corey, did you have fun today?
Absolutely did. Just took us off the air for a little bit there, but then we were in the break, so we're okay.
It is what it is. We made it back. We are good to go. The Brewers and Mets continuing the series today. Looking forward to that. The Brewers hoping to make it 8 in a row. We've got a lot coming up here. I believe we'll be going into National as well, but we appreciate everybody joining us here on the Saturday Scramble. It's Pablo Iglesias, Corey Sparks. Again, big, huge thanks to Hunter Vaughn, our producer over at the Everlight Solar Studio. Brewers, 6-10 first pitch today against the New York Mets, going for 8 in a row. Excited for all that. Jason Wilde, thank you to him. Packers kicking off as well with against the New York Jets. That's going to be a nightcap that we're all going to be excited for. Football's back, but baseball is sizzling for the Milwaukee Brewers. Take care and enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Get out there before it starts raining, too. Corey, good luck on the drive. Hopefully you make it out to Oshkosh for your fun scramble as well.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you guys having me.
All right. Take care, everybody. Have a good one.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Clinky